Waiting for the Toronto housing market to bottom?
No. Bad boy, that's a fairy tale. Waiting feels responsible. It feels mature. It feels like you're sitting on the sidelines with your arms crossed saying, I'm not gonna get tricked. Honestly, I'd rather have a slim balance sheet and sleep at night than chase a fantasy. But I have to tell you something uncomfortable. You might think you're being safe by waiting. Sometimes you're just choosing a different kind of risk. As a sales representative at Inner City Realty, I speak with people who tell me they're waiting for the right time. In this video, I'm gonna show you why and give you the brutal math of missing out. Let's start with the biggest illusion out there, timing the market. Waiting for a crash doesn't mean making one lucky guess. It's two lucky guesses. You have to figure out when prices stop falling, and then you have to figure out when exactly to jump back in. Oh, you have to predict interest rates. You have to predict the Bank of Canada's mood. You have to predict the employment rate, government immigration targets, whether a butterfly flapping its wings in Tokyo is gonna raise bond yields. The billionaires on Bay Street can't consistently get this right. But Dave, whose greatest financial achievement is finding a working Uber Eats promo code, thinks he's gonna perfectly time the economy? Good luck, Dave. Historically, many buyers who waited for a perfect entry point found timing the market much harder than expected. The people who waited in the 2008 panic thought they were absolute geniuses. Then prices recovered. The people who waited out the 2017 stress test thought they were geniuses. Prices recovered. Why? Because structural variables don't care about your feelings. We have massive land constraints. We have huge immigration targets. Whether you want a Victorian in Cabbagetown or a big detached house in Weston Downs, the long-term trend is too strong. The CN Tower isn't moving to Manitoba. Everyone wants to live here. You know this guy. 3 months ago, he's blowing up the group chat at midnight, dead certain he's about to be priced out of his own city forever. Last week, now it's a Ponzi scheme. The whole thing's coming down, and he's forecasting the crash from the exact same phone he was panic searching listings on a month ago. Same guy. Same haircut. The only thing that changed is which 3 months of headlines he happened to read. That's recency bias. Whatever the market did most recently, you're now convinced it's going to do forever. In a straight line, right off the edge of the table. And once you give it an inch, that recent month never leaves. It moves into your spare room, uses your good towels, and won't stop telling you the market is never coming back. So you start making 30-year decisions to keep the house guest happy. The market didn't drop to send you a message. It doesn't know you exist. It dropped because down is one of the two things a market is allowed to do. The other one's up. That's the whole personality. Markets move. That's literally the job. Let's talk about the silent killer, inflation. People think prices only go up because the market is crazy. No, there are many reasons, and inflation is one of them. Let's use an $800,000 starter townhome in Vaughan. Let's pretend the housing market completely flatlines, okay? Zero hype, no bidding wars, we just have standard, boring 2% inflation. In 5 years, that same house is worth almost $900,000. The house didn't get better. The house is just sitting there. It's wooden drywall, but life doesn't freeze. Inflation exists. Rents change. Interest rates move. Your own life changes. You decide to get a cat. The game keeps moving while you're standing on the sidelines. That's the part that people miss. Now here's the hidden cost that everybody ignores. People always ask, what if prices drop 10%? But they ignore principal paydown. Let's look at buyer A who buys a $900,000 townhouse and Dave who rents for 5 years waiting for a crash. Even if the property loses 10% in 60 months, buyer A has paid tens of thousands of dollars toward their principal. They have accumulated equity. They might be down on paper, but they haven't locked that loss in by selling. They can just wait. Dave gave his landlord at least $100,000 and got a temporary roof over his head. Look, buying before you're ready is dumb. But waiting forever because you're scared, that's dumb too. By the way, if you're not ready to buy, I'll help you find a rental that fits your budget. The landlord typically covers my commission. If you rent, I still eat. People are so obsessed with timing the market. Right now, first-time home buyers, despite being scared of the headlines, are buying their first townhome anyway. Why? Because they realize you can't pause your entire life waiting for a line graph to dip. You can't look at the short-term blips in the market because you're going to need a house for your entire life. You aren't priced out, probably. You don't need to be a genius to win in real estate. You just need to focus on what I call financial credibility. That means getting a job early, getting a home early, and building your credit early. It means doing what's right even when it's hard. And stop speculating on the prices of houses. If you're tired of the market ups and downs and you want an agent who cares enough to tell you the truth, click the link below to book a 15-minute call with me. Stop waiting for a market correction that only exists in your group chat. Go build your financial credibility. You'll end up like Dave, paying your landlord's retirement for the next 30 years.